Attention! Due to some people asking to continue with the short 3-minute videos, we will be creating a new channel with this more compact format. The links will be in the comments and in the community tab. Please subscribe and support us.
Max Verstappen narrowly missed pole position at the Singapore Grand Prix on Saturday and gambled everything he had on Sunday, starting the Formula One race on soft tires while other competitors ran mediums. This represented an aggressive strategy as the Dutch motorist intended to assume the lead at the race start, knowing the overtaking difficulties at Marina Bay. However, with the track dry, spacious, and cooled by light rain, the Red Bull motorist did not even have a chance to fight with George Russell and almost lost position to the McLarens approaching from behind. After this missed opportunity, the 4-time world champion had no choice but to conserve his tires maximally to survive until a good pit stop window opened. At the post-race press conference, the winner declared that if Verstappen had assumed first position at the start, he would have won the race. When asked about his feelings regarding Russell's comments, the Dutch motorist responded candidly about the strategic gamble that failed to materialize. Yes, I think so too. It's extremely difficult to overtake here, but I didn't take the lead in the first corner. So, yes, we knew that the inside of the grid was much worse for the start. For some reason, Verstappen acknowledged, reflecting on the tactical decision that ultimately compromised his race prospects. The Marina Bay circuit's characteristics create unique challenges for grid positioning and race start dynamics. The inside line's disadvantages became apparent when Verstappen's soft tire advantage failed to compensate for poor track position during the crucial opening moments. It was even a bit worse start than last year, so it's a shame, of course. I already knew yesterday that it would be very difficult to maintain my position with the same tires. So, with the rain, we opted to start on soft tires, hoping first of all to maintain position and maybe have a chance to fight for first place in the first corner, he explained. This strategic reasoning demonstrated Red Bull's attempt to maximize their competitive opportunities despite starting from second position. The team's willingness to accept tire compound disadvantages later in the race reflected their understanding of overtaking difficulties at Singapore. But when I couldn't, it became a real management race, trying to keep the soft tires alive long enough to reach a good lap to stop. So I realized that even with hard tires, there was still a long way to go. I think my tires were about 6 laps faster than George's and Lando's, more or less, Verstappen continued. The tire management challenge illustrated the complex strategic calculations required for Singapore's success. Verstappen's ability to extract performance from degrading soft compounds while maintaining position demonstrated exceptional racecraft under pressure. After his difficult first stint with McLaren behind him, Verstappen remained under threat throughout the race. During the second half, the motorist experienced difficulties controlling his RB21, including problems rejoining the track that allowed Norris to close the gap and apply sustained pressure. Also, throughout the race, I had many problems with downshifts and gear changes, Verstappen explained, revealing additional technical challenges that complicated his defensive efforts. These mechanical issues compounded the strategic disadvantages created by his compromised race start. That didn't help, and the car's balance probably wasn't where I wanted it to be. So, yes, I think second place was simply the maximum possible today, he assessed realistically, acknowledging the limitations imposed by both strategic and technical factors. But at the same time, even if the balance had been much better, second place was still the best possible result for starting second in the first corner. That's how things are here. When nothing goes wrong with a safety car or an opportunity, your initial position usually determines your result, Verstappen concluded philosophically. This assessment highlighted Singapore's processional nature. where track position often proves more valuable than pure pace advantages. The circuit's characteristics reward qualifying performance over racing strategy in most circumstances. When questioned about the specific problems that led to Verstappen's frustrated radio messages during the race, Red Bull team principal Laurent Mekies avoided detailed explanations while praising his motorist's performance. However, the French engineer acknowledged that their aggressive strategy backfired spectacularly. Regarding a specific problem during the race, I'm not in a position to tell you. I think it was very complicated, Mekies explained diplomatically, avoiding technical details while acknowledging the challenging circumstances facing his motorist. We started on soft tires. We were one of the only cars, maybe the only one among the top 10, or maybe just us and Isaac Hadjar. We made this choice to maximize our chances of overtaking George at the start, which didn't work and quickly exposed us to more degradation, making the car more difficult to manage. He detailed the strategic isolation of running soft tires while competitors chose mediums created additional pressure on Verstappen to deliver immediate gains. When the opening gambit failed, Red Bull faced cascading consequences throughout the remaining race distance. As a result, we had to stop earlier, attack very hard with hard tires, and manage to reduce the gap. But that meant that for most of the race, Max was defending with older tires than his rivals. So it was an aggressive choice we thought necessary if we wanted any chance of victory, Mekies continued. This explanation revealed the calculated risk inherent in Red Bull's strategic approach. Their willingness to accept disadvantageous tire age differentials reflected desperation to create winning opportunities from suboptimal starting positions. The good news is that he did a great job bringing the car back to second place despite pressure from Lando. However, I think you're right. Behind that, there are probably some things we still need to work on that bothered him during the race, but I would describe them as minor problems, Mekies concluded diplomatically. The team principal's assessment balanced recognition of Verstappen's exceptional defensive driving with acknowledgement of ongoing technical issues requiring resolution. His diplomatic language suggested more significant problems than publicly admitted. Verstappen's frustrated radio communications during the race reflected the accumulation of strategic disappointments and technical difficulties. His emotional responses demonstrated the pressure of defending position with compromised equipment against determined pursuers, and the strategic gamble's failure highlighted the fine margins separating success from disappointment in modern Formula One. Red Bull's aggressive approach represented calculated risk-taking that could have produced victory or disaster. Singapore's unique characteristics reward conservative strategic approaches over aggressive tire gambles. The circuit's processional nature makes track position more valuable than tire compound advantages in most race scenarios. Red Bull's willingness to accept strategic risks demonstrated their understanding of limited opportunities to challenge dominant competitors. Their aggressive approach reflected realistic assessment of championship mathematical requirements. The technical problems experienced by Verstappen during the race suggested broader reliability concerns that could affect future competitive prospects. Gearbox issues represent potentially championship-threatening failures requiring immediate resolution. Do you believe Red Bull's aggressive tire strategy was the right approach despite its failure? Or should they have accepted a more conservative race plan given Singapore's overtaking difficulties? Subscribe for exclusive Formula One strategic analysis and insights into the high-stakes decisions that determine championship outcomes.